on, everybody? It's Zoobear back here with another tips video, a little insight into my mind, the knowledge I know. I've been playing Madden for a while, not a pro by any means, but I'm pretty good. Every year in Madden, there's always a meta. Gun bunch, gun tight last year. There's always a meta, offense, defense, and to be honest with you, I hate running it. I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to see the same thing every single time I load up Madden. I want to see some variety. I want to be wowed by some of the schemes that people run against me. Obviously, with Madden 24 being new, people are kind of reverting back to old metas. Gun bunch, I've seen a little bit of tight, but the biggest one is gun bunch right now. But I despise the meta, despise it. Every year I look for basically the same concepts that they're running in these meta formations. I try to find other formations that have basically the same kind of concept. With a little twist to it. Do I see this scheme being meta by any means? Probably not. Now, can he get you 25-0 in a week? For sure. Can he get you hella Super Bowls and seasons? You betcha. Now, for me, that plays a factor in whether my team doesn't go out partying the night before and wants to come the next day to play. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Bryce Young. I'm gonna try to go through these steps as easy as I know. We'll show each play ran against some of the familiar coverages that you're going to see online, man, cover 2, cover 3, that kind of thing. Real quick before we hop into it, if you're somebody that likes to kind of run his own thing, figure out his own stuff, or just run off meta, maybe you don't like to figure it out, you like to see somebody else, but you like to run off meta, the stuff that's viable, stuff that works, stuff that's going to actually get you wins. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, because I'm gonna bring you more content. I got a defense video next with an off meta defense that's actually pretty good. It's great at sitting heat, great at coverage, and then I'm gonna be coming all year with little formations here or there that are gonna get you some wins, as long as you're all Bryce Young on your team. All right, guys, let's hop into it. So we're gonna be on 3 formations today. This is actually in the run heavy alternate playbook, which is kind of crazy because it has a crazy air raid offense for me, and the run plays actually are kind of cheats. All right, guys, before we get into these 3 formations, it's going to be doubles, the Y-off trio, and then the bunch tight end. I get bunch tight end is actually a meta formation. I really don't run it all that often. It's just a here or there kind of play. It's great to kind of throw off your opponent if you just hit them with the other 2 all game, and then you switch to that. They're not used to seeing these formations. And then you throw on bunch tight end, and it kind of just really throws them off for a loop. So it's really third downs, red zone. There's a couple of nice red zone plays in there that we'll take a look at. I'm going to show all these plays without any sort of hot route master, wide receiver, or tight end abilities, just because at this point in Madden, not a lot of people have it. Obviously, hot route on your quarterback would absolutely skyrocket this whole scheme in general. You can do some really, really good things where there's a whole lot more options you can do. If not hot route master on your quarterback, then I'd prioritize tight end apprentice and then slot apprentice. And then lastly would be running back apprentice. So let's look into it. So it's gun. We're going to be going to gun doubles first. Right here, I've got my autos, PA read option. This gets some good blocks for you. Whip under, and PA slot on a post. These 2 are already in there by default, so they'll actually have to change on these first 2. We'll go through the audibles against the different coverages, and then I'll show you the honorable mentions that aren't obviously audibles that I might come out in they're pretty solid plays. Here we go. All right, so the first play we're going to look at is this PA read. It's got a great crosser by that far by X receiver. One of the ways to run this play is this is a cover 3. One of the ways I like to run this is just put Y on a slant, motion him over, and then hike the ball while he's still in motion. And you got X right there for a very, very good game. A lot of times the user is going to stay with that slant, and by the time they realize that cross is going out back behind them, it's cooked, especially if you have a fast receiver like Tony out there. They usually can't get back to it. All right, we'll run this one more time. Go through the read progressions on here. Motion him over. First read is going to be RB. If he's booty butt naked, you're going to get it to him. I need some time, but then it's going to be Y, and then it's going to be X. If you see the user going with Y, automatically look at X right there. He's probably going to be open. The last read, final read, if you haven't already been sacked already, is going to be your tight end A on this little delayed route. Hopefully, he's kind of just chilling on the flats, waiting for you to dink it off to him. All right, we're going to be doing the same play against man. Man's always a meta in every year, every Madden. Always sweats run it. This slant is going to get open pretty heavily, usually against man, especially if you've got like a short end. He's open right there. He stops. X is open, but again, Bryce Young shit the bed. Don't ever trust Bryce with anything. I don't care what it is. We'll look at this real quick. So obviously Y is going to be his man on that slant. You got a decent receiver. I always put my best receiver in that slot position. Real quick, I want to dissect this for man purposes. Y on the slant, throw him over. He's going to be your number one read. Look at him. RB is typically, when it's man, I typically do not look at him unless somebody on the opposite side of the field is made up on him. And if he gets a good release, doesn't get stuck on that tackle, he's going to be able to throw a nice game as well. And then obviously you've got the crosser coming over the middle. I always try to have my fastest receiver on the far left and my best receiver on playing the slot. He cooks his man every single time. So if you're not using it, I'm gonna hit that for a nice little chunk right there. If neither of those two are getting open, what you can do is put A on a little out route. If you have a decent tight end there with good short route running, he can get open too. So if you just know, you have a feeling that your Y and X aren't gonna get open, you can hit A right there as well. Looking at man, one of my go-to man plays that I will spam if you're running man against me, just straight up man, is his whip binders. So we've got a whip by the tight end and by the slot receiver there. These will cook man. I don't care who you are, who you put out there. I've had an 80 overall Romeo Dobbs against Richard Sherman. He cooks him. But one secret about this whip route by the tight end is you can actually smart route it. So what you do is hit Y, hit A to select the tight end, and hit RB to smart route that. All right, so now that we got a smart routed, he's now at the 10-yard. So this could really throw off users as well. It's still gonna cook man. I've seen it actually cook it a little bit better. Maybe since it's just they get a little more wiggle room out there, I guess. And my Cowboys team, if you haven't watched it, go watch. I'll be putting out a new video here soon. But 78 overall Ferguson cooks some of the best DBs out in Madden right now. This route goes crazy. I love it. So really, guys, reads are pretty simple here. You're just looking at A and Y. If neither of those are open, you better have your life in order because you're about to get smacked by somebody. A couple adjustments real quick to move on to the next one is I like to put B on a streak or a slant just to kind of clear him out of the way. We'll go ahead and run this for you guys real quick just to see how it lets you know how it cooks. Both receivers are open. Both of them. I mean, it's insane. Those whip routes will cook just about anybody and everybody out there on the field. I don't care if you've got Dion himself, your grandma. I mean, everybody's getting cooked. No feelings are considered. Last audible we'll get into before we get into the audible mentions is this PA slot post. This is a great play. It's in other formations. Only this play actually has a whip by the tight end. So if you think he's running cover 2 or something you can hit kind of up the seams up the middle, but it's man, this whip route will give you a quick, easy out right off the bat. So we'll just run this stock, see how it gets open against this is just simple cover 2. As you can see, I'm getting schmacked, but Y was open down the field. One way, if this is cover 2, I've noticed zones play actually a lot better in Madden 24. So one way you can do is just put X on the street. It'll occupy that left deep half a little bit so that your post can get way more open down the middle. One adjustment I like to do is putting by X on just a simple 5-yard in. That way, if the user takes this or if it gets covered, I can see that right off the bat, and I can just hit this guy for my little check down. Real quick, before we get into the audible mentions, I do want to look at this play against cover 3. It can get open. Like I said, zones play a lot better this year. So this shallow post, it's iffy. If they're baselining and it shows they have too high, and then it's that left side safety that's going to be in the deep blue, that's when it can get open more easily. So we'll look at this. We'll run it against cover 3 real quick, show you how it looks. A's open real quick. Y, so you might be able to sneak it in there. X stopped for some reason, but I'm just gonna let that play out. Real quick, I do want to show you comebacks are making a comeback in Madden 24. So if they're playing flats, so this can be a hard flat play. My goodness, Bryce, great throw. He's open. If they are playing flats and that whip route actually gets taken out by a flat zone, that whip or that comeback is going to be open on that sideline for a nice little chunk gain. Just make sure you throw it right as they're breaking. So it's going to be a quick read that you're going to have to make. One last way you can run this play is if this is cover 2, he's guarding the middle of the field. You want to try to hit it up for a big gain on the sideline. What you can do is again motion. So this is also going to look like your previous play, PA read. I also like the motion on my run plays too. Like again, just kind of disguising the whole deal, so they don't ever have they don't ever know what I'm running exactly. Put B on a streak, so he's gonna occupy that deep half over there. Motion Rice, and then again while he's still in motion, hike the ball. Hopefully your O-line's gonna give you time, and then he's gonna get over on the sideline over there for a nice little tutty. All right, quick honorable mention right here is gonna be this deep end. Again, like I said in the beginning, I'm trying not to, I'm gonna leave any hot route master, any wide receiver apprentices out of this because a lot of people don't have it in the stage in Madden. But when you don't have crossers to be able to set on your receivers, this is a great one to go to, is this deep end. We're gonna be looking at this against cover 3. So again, you have this little deep crosser by the slot receiver. So what I like to do is, there's 2 ways you can run this really. You can put B on a streak so that you have the potential to even hit them over the middle, kind of right on that cut. That's about at 10 yards. Or you can hit him even deeper if he's fast and you can beat his man, or if it's zone and he's just booty butt naked over there. I sometimes leave that tight end on that little hitch route. It can occupy the user a little bit, just enough to be able to hit your guy over the middle. Usually put him on a drag. He's kind of my safety blanket, to be honest with you. And then I put X on a 10-yard in. And how you do that is you're gonna hit Y, X to select that X receiver, left stick in, and then he's on that 5-yard in. And then what you're gonna do is hit Y, X again, and then RB to smart route it. Very common theme in this video. Like I said, take your diary out, take some notes, learn a little something. So now that we got this set up, we're gonna go ahead and run it. That A is open, right on that break, right there. Nice little hottie dotty. Like I said, that is why I put my best receiver in the slot, because he's gonna be catching a lot of traffic. I'm gonna be looking at him to be his man. He's a huge pinnacle, huge point in this offense. So your reads in this play, right off the bat is gonna be A. If you're looking for just a short route, second and 1, third and 1, you need this first down. And A's booty butt open. He's playing match, he's playing man, and he cooked this drag route cooked man. Especially if you have Isaiah Likely out there. He goes crazy for me. Anyway, so your reads are going to be A to Y. Y is going to be a hot read right over the middle, so watch the user, watch the other defenders. And then honestly, X is probably my last read here. RB, it would be my third. Especially if they're not playing hard flats and you have a decent running back. He can get you a nice chunky yards and make one man miss. One minor adjustment I do right here is instead of B on a streak, I put him on a comeback. That way, if I've already hit my opponent with this play before and he's going to lock down this crosser over the middle, I can hit this, playing hard flats, taking that away, I'm getting smoked, but that comeback's open as well. We've got 2 more honorable mentions in this. Out of this formation, I'm going to look at PA comebacks right here. Again, no hot route masters, so this is it's a deep flat route. He's going to just go straight up the field. A lot of times the user is kind of thrown off by this route because he doesn't instantly start going vertical and to the right. So a couple of adjustments here. Again, put B on a streak just to clear everybody out. X on a 5-yard in. Sometimes I'll just hack it just like this. So we're gonna hit it, roll out. Y is open. Just gonna let that roll out. So like Bryce, you take a hit. So it's a nice little play, just gonna throw your opponent off. This can get open against cover. This is a 3, 4, 2. This is a beater. If this is man, I've seen this open not as often against man. Obviously in zones, it clears every zone that's out there as long as you have that streak on that right side. If it's against man, since it's just a slow arcing crosser, it doesn't really beat it all that much unless your guy's just that much better. Last honorable mention is going to be this wide receiver drag. This is one that really throws off opponents, and I'll show you why right here. We're going to be looking at it against cover 2 right here. Obviously, we have this post down the middle. You can leave it, but that's not what we're looking for. Now, this play is a great zone beater. So what I like to do is bring my X receiver in, motion him in, and he's actually going to, depending on where the ball's spotted, he's either going to be stacked with the wide receiver. If it's in the left hash, or he's going to be far inside on this right hash. So it's something you got to play with. Just get in the practice mode, practice it. But I like to turn Y on a streak. So now we got that. A on a drag. So now you got a high-low concept on this left side. And then I'm going to put B on a streak. And you see this wheel route by the running back. You give that time to develop, and you're going to be hitting players for a huge gain, even a one-play touchdown if you make a miss. So we'll go ahead and run this play. I'm not going to throw it. I'll just let you see how the routes develop. A's open, X is open, and then RB would have been open as a late read. All right, so we got this set up one more time. You can also, it doesn't have to be on the right hash. You can run this in the left hash. It's just with the wheel route. I typically like to run it. If I'm gonna be pinpointing this wheel route, I like to run it to the side that the wheel route's on. So at this one, I would say as far as read progression goes, I would say your tight end is your first read progression. If there's no flat route on this left side, if he's covered, then you know that they probably, unless they double enabled it and they got some crazy deep zone over there, X is going to be open as well. And if they're not open and you're not already someone sacked lunch, check out your running back on this right side. I promise you, he'll probably be just naked dancing on the sideline watching the ball. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. If you've got this far, I hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. And I hope this video helped kind of shake up whatever offense you're running. Like I said, it's not this formation, this playbook exactly that I want you to run. I want this to change up. I want the same concepts that these pro players run and these meta formations, and kind of find them in other things that are hidden around these different playbooks. So I hope this helped you. As always, guys, y'all keep putting on a show, and I'll see you guys in the next one.